Hello world, Shelley here, and I'm coming at you from Galway, Ireland for another episode of Foundation Fest. Checking out another drugstore foundation from here. This is from the brand Collection. It is the Hydra Serum Foundation. Retails for €9.99, which is at the current exchange rate of just under $11 US. And this one claims to be makeup and skincare in one. And the skincare they are including is hyaluronic acid primarily. They've got some vitamin E, vitamin B5. Personally, I think if you're going to call yourself a skincare makeup, you need to go a little farther than hyaluronic acid. That's like the most basic entry-level thing. But we are at a drugstore price point. I get that it's very buzzy and trendy right now to say skincare in your makeup, but yeah, there's a little eye roll that goes along with that. When I read things like this, I also feel the need as a former proofreader to point out, and I looked up to see if this was like some European spelling or something, but they say vitamin E, a known, I don't know if I'm gonna get this to show on camera, but a known antioxidant. Not antioxidant, antioxidant. That's got to be a typo. I can't find any reference on the internet to that word spelled that way. So I think they mean antioxidant. So I guess you get what you pay for. I don't know. So I've got this. I picked it up in the shade 7 Biscuit, which is like probably the line between fair and light. I thought I bought it in shade 6, but when I got back, I saw that I had shade 7. I don't know what I did. I had used all the testers in the store, and I can't remember if I got this at Boots here in Galway or if I got this up at Superdrug when we were up in the UK in Derry. But either way, let's take a look at shade 7 swatched against some of the foundations I have with me on this trip. Swatch time. First up is today's foundation from Collection, the Hydra Serum Foundation in shade 7 Biscuit. Second, I've got from Tower 28, the Sunny Days Tinted Sunscreen in 15 Melrose. And last, I've got from Guerlain, the Terracotta La Tint in shade 2C. I've already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 48-year-old face. I have primed with my handmade Quirky Creators Bakuchiol face cream. I will go in on one side of my face with a damp sponge. Other side, I've got my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. We will see if there is a preference one way or the other. I've already shaken this up, but I like to get a few shakes on camera just in case. Let's take a look at the consistency. Here we go. The slow drip. Slow. This is supposed to be medium coverage, hydrating, and a slightly dewy finish. So let's go in and find out, shall we? My guess is this is going to be a smidge too dark for me, but, you know, as always, we're going to make it work. Work, girl, work. There's the cutest little dog walking by on the ground. I look out, I'm right in front of a window here with my super tiny little ring light, and I'm up on the second floor, as we would call it in the US, and I'm watching people walk by on the street below me, and sometimes they look up and they realize that I'm sitting at the window staring at them, and they are confused. But that's okay. Got my mirror. Let's try not to put it in your face. All right, here we go. Half and half. It's not as dark as I thought it would be, so that's a good sign. I'd call it pretty light coverage with the sponge. There's a little bit of a very small amount of color correction happening, redness reduction happening. I'm already starting to have that fear of the beloved, that's sarcasm, saran wrap look. It is kind of that. It feels like to me lately, a lot of brands that are going with like a dewy finish, let's put some on the under eyes here. A lot of brands that are going for a dewy finish kind of a thing, whatever, I need to figure out what ingredients cause the whole, where it appears like saran wrap on your face, because I don't like that look, and I would like to be able to avoid it. But I don't know what ingredients make that happen. So I need to figure that out. But that seems to be like, I'm guessing it's an ingredient issue, and I'm guessing it's like a cheap ingredient issue, because it's usually only the less expensive foundations that tend to do it on me. I am using my camera, which is my phone, as my mirror, so I need to get up close and make sure I'm not missing any spots here. Whoa, what is that on my face? Oh my gosh, I got hair on my face. I got what looks like a paint chip on my face. I don't know what's happening. It actually was a paint chip off the window ledge here. Wow, what am I doing? Do you see how many gray hairs I have accumulated since I got here? Running study abroad programs is no joke, y'all. I know it's like, oh, you're so lucky you get to work in Ireland. Yes, yes, I am. And it's work. It's way more work than working where I live at home. Way more work, way more work. It is gray hair inducing work, let's just say. I like the brush application better. I got paint chips. I gotta not put my brush down wherever I had it sitting, because I got paint chips all over my face now. Yeah, I like to finish with the brush. I think it's a little bit smoother, which says something, because this is the more textured side of my face, and I feel like it's looking pretty smooth. So far, no issues with settling into pores or lines. Even my nose looks okay, but like for medium coverage, I feel like I've got redness coming through on my nose and redness coming through on my chin. Let's see if we can build this up just a smidge. I'm just going to put the tiniest little dab on here. I'm going to try and build up there, get my blood vessel, get my sunspots. And I'm going to add a little bit to my nose, because I just feel like we got a little bit of redness still. Let's see how buildable this one is. Can we build it up without it looking garbage? Yeah, it seems to build up all right. Sorry, I think I just blocked you with my mirror. Unintentional. Gosh, I miss my 10X mirror. I mean, part of me doesn't miss it, because we analyze ourselves so much more closely and critique ourselves so much more harshly, I think, when you can see everything up close like that. But at the same time, I like to see everything up close like that. So I think, you know, not having access to it is a little bit of a mental relief of the harsh critic within me. But when I get home, I'm going to spend like an hour plucking out friggin' the obnoxious gray hairs and getting the exfoliation fixed and on point. You know what I'm saying. It's like a blessing and a curse all at once. All right, let's get up close here. I think this one looks okay. I'm not seeing any real dewy finish, though. I feel like it's almost... I mean, let me try and make some light happen. Yeah, I wouldn't really call this quite dewy, but it does have that... a little bit of that plastic sheen to it. The ingredients, it looks like your typical silicone kind of foundation. It does have some seed oil and a couple of natural extracts. So if you are sensitive to that kind of thing, look out for that. It does have isopropyl alcohol at the very, very, very end of the ingredient list. So I would say it's not, unless you're sensitive to drying alcohols, there's not enough in here to be drying. It's just for the purpose of helping with evaporation and dry down of the product. But if you're sensitive, be aware of that. Here we go. What do you think? I think it looks all right. Decently smooth, not causing any obvious problems at this point. All right, let's put the rest of my face on. What time is it? We're gonna call it 11. It's 10:56. Let me put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. Back with the Collection Hydra Serum Foundation. I have to say I'm a little surprised at how matte this looks, considering all of the packaging hype toward hydration and Hydra in the name and glycerin for hydration. And it just looks pretty matte and a little bit dry to me. So it feels all right so far. I mean, if I had to describe my overall impression, I'd say pretty average. It's not doing many favors for pores. That, you know, I like to blur them a bit. It is looking fairly smooth, which I do like. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it at this moment. On the rest of my face, my eyes are the ColourPop Rock Candy Palette. My brows are Lawless Soft Set Brow Gel with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze. Mascara is the Revlon So Fierce Eyes Wide Open. This is their CBD formula. Well, I mean, all these ones that I'm doing here in Galway, you pretty much know what I'm wearing because you've already seen what I brought with me. I've got my Flower Heatwave bronzer, my Lawless Watermelon blush. My lip is the Jones Road lip tint in, I think it's called Just Pinky. So that is what is happening here. This did seem to darken a bit as it dried down because now I do feel that my face and my chest are two different colors. So that is a thing. Again, I don't know how I ended up with number 7. I'm pretty sure I got this when we were in Derry up in the UK in Superdrug. I tested all the shades. I settled on 6. I checked it. So I have a feeling I went and grabbed it out and it was in the wrong slot. As let me tell you, the drugstores here, same situation as back home. The testers are a hot mess. People put things wherever they want. Stuff gets all over the place. I wish there was some universal solution to the messy drugstore makeup sections. But yeah, anyway, this shade was selected too dark, and that's why it looks dark, because I didn't want this one. I wanted number 6. But anyway, it's all good. I have some class meetings today to get through, so no, I cannot just run and go get a sandwich right now. I'm starving, but gotta do a couple hours of class meetings. Students are working on their group project. Oh man, it's not supposed to rain today. There's raindrops happening. That's the thing with Ireland. Number 1, the weather forecasts not even accurate in the moment. Like back home, Chicago, very, 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 very accurate. They would tell you at 3:12 p.m. there should be a thunderstorm passing over I-80, and like, yeah, then 3:12, cha-ching, there it is, and there's a thunderstorm. Virginia, the mountains mess up. I'm in the Shenandoah Valley, so the mountains mess up the weather forecasting a bit. However, within like a 24-hour range, your forecast is pretty accurate most of the time. Farther out, not so much. Ireland, the forecast changes constantly, and you will be sitting in a rainstorm when your weather report on the watch says there's absolutely no rain even supposed to be here. And then other times, like yesterday, we had a walking tour. I was very concerned because it was like a 50% coverage chance of rain at any given time. And we made it through the whole thing with like just a little sprinkle, and it was fantastic. So, and then today it's supposed to be less than 5% chance of rain, and it's literally raining right now. And how am I just that unlucky that I'm in the 5% coverage chance of rain? Like yeah, anyway. And rain here floats. Umbrellas, usually not helpful. Rain just floats. Mist. I don't mind it though, I gotta say. I still want to live here more than anything. I want to live in Galway. Anyway, that was a tangent and a half. So I'm going to go do some work, have some classes. Then I will go out and about and find myself some food. But I will be back, hopefully when it has stopped raining, with a daylight check-in. I will come back tonight, give you guys my final thoughts. Getting in before the rain. It's just starting to drizzle. What time is it? 5:30. Here we are. I'm trying to figure out how this appears both dewy and dry at the same time. I don't really understand. The finish on this one is interesting. I think it's holding up okay though. So that's where we're at. What are we, 6.5 hours in? Yeah. Shade match. Too dark. I'll be back tonight. 8:26 p.m. There are so many people sitting right beneath me waiting for their takeout at the restaurant down below, watching me. It's only a little awkward, All right, here we go. So, what time did we start? Was it 11 or was it 12? I don't know. You'll have to have a better memory than me. But that means we are either at like 8 hours or 9 hours with this one. So let's take a look at how it is holding up. Now, hydrate is like the big thing here, you know? That's what they're touting. I don't really feel hydrated. I actually feel a little bit dry and a little bit tight. So, sorry, glycerin's just not enough. Hyaluronic acid, not enough, even in these very humid Ireland conditions. But yeah, we already talked about my thoughts on the skincare claims here. I think in terms of how it held up, it has held up nicely. So like at a conversational distance, I think it still looks quite nice. It has settled repeatedly into my deeper smile lines, deeper chin lines here. Not really moving around or settling anyplace else, which is good. The finish, like I said, it's just a little bit weird. I think the reflect, the slightly dewiness is actually more of that sort of saran wrap plasticky thing happening, which is why I think it also isn't contributing to any hydration. And it feels more like I'm wearing a matte foundation. It's just a kind of strange. So when we get down to it, if you have dry skin, you know, it's not terrible, but I think the fact that it feels slightly drying in an environment now where, you know, we're at like 85% humidity here. So that's pretty hard to do, to make it feel dry in such a humid climate, humid conditions. If you have fine lines, I think it's okay. If you have deeper wrinkles, you might have issues. I did catch a few of the reviews as I was scrolling past of women with more wrinkles saying that they didn't like that it settled into them, and I'm having that same experience with my deeper lines. So, you know, we're looking at this from the perspective of dry skin over 40. And those are two issues that, while they're not the end of the world, they just don't make this anything special. So if I had to give a grade to the Collection Hydra Serum, I'm going to go C+. I mean, I feel like it's just kind of average, maybe a little on the high end of average. It looks decently nice on the skin. Like, I think the coverage is nice. The finish is just a little weird, and I think for dry skin and maturing skin, there are some minor issues. So that's where I'm at with this one. There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest from Galway, Ireland is in the books. If you like foundation reviews, if you had fun with this one, give me a thumbs up down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.